Welcome to the Growth Lab podcast, where we talk about finding new clients, winning more contracts, and growing successful cleaning businesses. I'm your host, Matt Harris, and I run the Growth Lab. We partner with cleaning business owners to launch, accelerate, and scale the growth of their business with tried and tested systems and strategies that generate predictable revenue. If you're turning over at least 6 figures and you want to grow your cleaning business to 7 figures plus, click on the link in the description and schedule a call. Now let's dive in. The students that you work with, what's one of the biggest challenges that you consistently see and have to help sort of students overcome?
The fact that they don't charge enough, and therefore they think they're charging enough. But the problem is people start their own cleaning businesses, and then it gets to like 15, 16 pounds an hour, and they're like, now I need to employ because I need somebody. The problem is right there is they don't earn enough. They're still charging self-employed wages. Therefore, they're getting people that's kind of like not very good work ethics, because these people don't understand how work works. You turn up, you do your job, and then therefore they struggle. And this holds them back. And I see that was most people that come into me. So my 5-day challenge, I actually teach them on day one how to do this. And people are literally on the challenge. There was one guy called James. He literally got all his customers to £20 an hour just by what I teach them in the 5-day challenge. So I want people to come and just do what I like. This one thing, it's free. So you can change your life. So this is obviously not earning enough and then struggling with the employees. They think the problem is that there's no good quality staff out there, but it's if you don't earn enough money first to be able to employ decent staff, because these decent staff, they know their value. They're not going to work for peanuts. They want to come in and smash the job and do really amazingly well. They don't want to be paid very little money. They just start their own businesses, which everybody's doing. So we need to entice those people in.
One of the things that both of you guys have mentioned is obviously mindset and developing personally and developing your leadership team for businesses. When you, I guess, start working with clients, is there often a reluctance for, business owners to kind of go down that route? Have you been met with challenges? Because from my perspective, over here in the UK, I have tried to lead from that approach, and it just gets rebuffed. They're like, nah, we want results. We're not interested in that aspect of it. And I'm just wondering, I know obviously the sales process is a little bit different, and the commercial market is a little bit different over in the US, but is the development aspect something you have to encourage, or is it something that a lot of business owners are like, look, I know that if I'm going to get from here to there, this is the path, or this is what I need to do anyway?
Well, let me give some real quick, because I know we were just talking about relationships, and I wanted to make a point, and it's going to bleed straight into this. I think a lot of people think relationships is about, do I like you, which is fine. Like, if we like each other, we could be friends, we could be buddies. Like, people want to go fishing and work out, or not work out. I don't know why I just said that. Like, grab a beer, go to the bar. But relationships also are built on respect, and that's not something people think about too often. They just think that I just have to be likable, that's it. But it's like, can I respect you? Even from woman to man to man to woman to CEO to CEO, like facility to facility special, it doesn't matter. The question is, can I respect you? And so to answer your question now on the development side is, every time we work with someone, I think they understand that because they know who we are, not as a company, but personally, they know that we are going to call them up, not call them out, call them up, because we don't call people out, we call people up to their potential. They know that if they were to go look at my Instagram, they're going to see me running Spartan races or trying to develop myself, paying money to be in masterminds. They know that James is never going to answer the phone after 6 p.m. because his family is his priority, prioritizing his health as well. Like, when I think, like, one of my friends said, when your actions speak so loud, I can't hear what you say. That's important. And so build relationships on respect. Can I respect you as a human being before I can even respect you as a business owner? When they can respect you as a human being, then they see you as a business. Then they know what your business stands for. James always says that. Like, he's huge on our core values, what we stand for, we're part of. So when one of our clients, we're having a tough conversation with them, tries to tell us not to develop them, then we'll rather not do business with them. Because it's not about just hiring an appointment setter. We know there's a bunch of companies that do appointment setting. There's a bunch of there's a bunch of companies that could do sales strategy 20 times better than me. Easy. They're 50 times, like experts that have been 100 years in the industry that proudly look at us because we haven't been in the industry so long and hate us because we have so much attention. And it's not the attention because we do all this cool marketing. It's just because we know what we stand for, and you know what you're getting when you're coming, when you're dealing with us. So if you expect, and James and I go back and forth on this in a good way, we're like, damn, do we say that to that client? Like, should we call them up on it? Should, like, what's going on? We'll tell them, hey, you know what? It looks like this is not working. Like, we're going to actually stop the partnership because you have these beliefs and we have these beliefs, and we're just not aligning together in business and in accountability. So we're going to take our accountability and remove ourselves from the equation because we're just not being valuable to you. You'll be surprised how many conversations we've had with them where I'm like, look, man, I care about your money. I don't want to take your money if it's not producing money back. So and then they'll be like, no, let's keep trying. We had people say like, wait, let's keep trying, let's keep going. And I'm like, based on our projections, based on where we're at, this is not going to be a good investment to you. And because of what our values are, which one of them is extreme ownership and genuine care is another one, because of those two, I have to let you go. So again, I don't think it's, if it's UK, if it's US, I think just as human beings, none of us are down to be challenged. None of us are about to be pushed unless the person pushes us because we respect what they're part of and what they're building. When when we're able to buy into theirs, not sell it, you know? So like I've had mentors that tells me stuff and I'm like, like they're not really mentors. They're just people trying to throw fluff at me. And I'm like, I don't like it. But I guarantee you the mentors that I do have around me, including James, they say something and I listen because there's a reason. Like I've hitched my wagon to.
Because your first instinct is, shit, I need to make sure that like I can get the work done. That's kind of the first instinct. And then once you're settling into that, then you kind of think, okay, now I've got some consistency with the work. Like what other tools do I need to add to my armory to be able to start building this business? And how, like, how can I ask this? Was there like a clear distinction once you had gone through that transformation from, you know, day one where you were over friendly with your staff to then giving them a new sort of operating procedure? I'm not really asking this very well. How did you transfer from being over friendly on in one instance to then having more structure in place? And how did you involve your staff in that transition so that they were still buying into what you were looking to achieve?
Well, I learned the hard way. I lost quite a few staff, but I had a supervisor that was on my side, and I said to him, how do we do this? How do we incorporate every little thing? Because all of a sudden I was having all of these rules. Like all of a sudden you have to ask permission for holiday. And it's like, what? We have to ask permission? Before they walked all over me. And I came to August, I had like 120 student leans, and I was like, what do I do now? But so I did lose a few because, and I knew that if I just had more respect for myself, that's what I need to focus on first, because that meant that I had my boundaries, and my boundaries was, this is what is good for my business. This was going to happen. And this is not about being nasty to them and like, oh my God, like this is all about like, you have to explain to them the process, but thoroughly, and why are we doing it? And I think when they generally felt that, I still lost some because some people weren't very happy with the fact that they now had to actually listen to me. I struggled with the fact as well that for my staff to have respect to me, I don't think they did in the beginning because I was people pleasing and I was letting them get away with stuff. So I already had a few staff, they were like just doing whatever they did, doesn't matter what I say, they were late. Oh, I hate lateness, like with a passion. And they knew that, and then therefore they would do that, of course, too. So this had to happen like a little bit of a break in my company. And I was like, if you're with me, you're with me. This is what I want to achieve. If you're not, I wish you well. I'm like nothing against you, but I don't want to take you ahead. We need to be a good fit. We need to both be on the same page, share this vision. And I want you to want to grow as much as I want to grow. Because they were given incentives to get customers in and to get other staff members in. And I paid really well. I wanted to be the best boss. But I knew by doing that, I could afford to say, no, I'm sorry. If you're not going to play by the rules, then go and play somewhere else.
I have to admit, looking back on it, I didn't do any of that very well at all.
No,
Um,
I struggled, but I think for me, I had to learn everything the hard way. But I
Yeah.
think once the lesson sunk, it was like, wish I knew this before kind of thing. But this is what we now teach other people, right? Is
Yeah.
that boundaries, like how do we deal with these things? As you have to have that boundary in place.
And I guess that kind of provided you then with a platform to continue growing your business the right way, right? Rather than on
In the smart way.
shaky foundations.
So by then the foundations was in place, and I saw things. It was like a relief. Like I could actually sleep. Like when the customer pays you on time, you sort that system out. The first system you need to sort out is how much you get paid, and of course, obviously they have to pay on time. And then there's the staff. Like just for the staff to turn up to work and to respect you, those two things is the two biggest stress that I think anybody has. And if you can sort those two systems out first, then everything else becomes so much easier. But because you're working smarter, like you still have the same amount of work and you'll have more, but you work smarter, so it never seems that way. It seems like it's flowing. It's flowing smoothly rather than emotional, up and down, getting the staff member, and then you get that emotional hit of getting down, and then getting this new customer, 5 new customers, 10 new customers, 20 new customers, and then you get a drop because one staff member drops you. I was there quite a long time. I would say about a year, I struggled with that. And I was like, how do I get out of this scenario and the emotional drop that constantly happened? And I remember searching for jobs because I was like, this is hard. But I dug deep, and because I knew my love for cleaning, and I knew what I was delivering. Those customers were so super happy with my staff going in cleaning. Like I would get so many messages, like just all the time from obviously some customers, not all of them, and that drove me. Like I could give this to more people. And the biggest mindset thing is that if you're not out there looking, getting those customers, you're doing some customers an injustice. Because the thing is, there's people out there struggling to get good cleaners. And if you're a really good cleaner and you're passionate about what you do, you're doing you're hiding, and that's not what you should be doing. It's not about selling your services, it's about offering your services to the right customers at the right time. But of course, you can change people's lives with this. And we used to have a shirt that actually sent it back. We change lives. Ask me how. And that's what our shirt looked like, because we did, and we believed in it thoroughly.
No, that's really good.
Most clean, I certainly experienced it when I started. You say yes to everything, like you said, let's go. Was it really then, once you'd stagnated and you kind of, got the team together and thought, look, where is it where we're making, good money? Where is it where we can specialize? Where is it where we can niche down? And did that then enable you to go on to the next stage in terms of winning this big contract?
I think, there's that old saying that sometimes you have to take a couple of steps back to take steps forward. I say around 2019, I looked back at the business. We had loads of staff, but when you actually take a step back and look at, are your contracts actually profitable? Is that costing you any money because the contract has overrun and you gave them a fixed price? We took a bit of a backwards. My business partners, they tend to be more operationally focused, and I'm more commercially minded. Took a step back. Look, we're getting bigger, and it's the real processes in place. Most don't have any systems or anything like that, and we were guilty of that. A bit of a backward step and say, actually, this has got legs now. We realise that, and we've got some good customer base. We've got, we've got dummies and all that good stuff. Now's the time just to take a little bit of a step back, look at it from my view, start getting some systems in place, actually start saying no. That's quite a big one, because easy to just say yes to everything because you want the revenue.
Yeah.
When you actually look down at it, if you're not getting money on it and you're getting loads of stress, you've got cleaning staff not turning up or projects overrun, whatever it may be, having revenue for sake just doesn't work. And I think we took that step back. Right, let's systemize. Everybody knows what they're doing in terms of job roles, and there's not that crossover.
Yeah. And
get a bit of order. Was the first 4 years just chaos, if I'm honest. Don't get me wrong, it got us a result, but that's not sustainable for you as a owner. It's not sustainable for your staff. Then that starts to have a negative effect on customers. So sometimes it's worth just taking a little bit backward step, reassessing the situation. When we onboard a client, they come in for a sales funnel. They've got that sales process. The process is all. It just makes everybody's life a lot easier, and then that helps you grow, because the process is going to be the same for every customer, and you're going to get the end result.
So let's go back to you winning the award. So that was 2017, 2018. Once you realized that you can't do it all by yourself. Talk to me about the evolution of the business, and then obviously, you know, being nominated for and winning the award last year.
So where my business changed was my mum, as I mentioned, was one of my cleaners, but her health, her legs were getting arthritis in her legs, and she couldn't clean as much as she would like to. But I couldn't just let my mum go. One of the reasons I did this was because she worked for another cleaning company, and I don't want her working until she's 70 cleaning. So a job in the office. What I used to do was clean to 5, 6 o'clock, go home and catch up with emails, invoices. I still worked till 12 o'clock at night, so I gave my mum an admin job. She worked in the office 5 days a week, 9 to 5, doing emails, sending quotes out, invoices, and that gave me so much free time to go out there and try and get more work on recruitment and get a marketing campaign.
And what was, like, once you managed to get that free time, what was your first priority? Obviously, getting someone to do the admin, that was your mum, that was taken care of. And then what was your main focus after outsourcing that?
When I got the free time, I probably took my eye off the ball a wee bit. Property investment. So because my mum had the cleaners cleaning, my mum in the office, I should have probably been out there still chatting doors, getting more work. But I think I got too complacent, and I went and done property investment. So I started a home buyers company to buy houses, flipped a couple of houses, got a couple of buy-to-lets. But I realised even doing that is, I spent £10,000 on marketing to buy houses, and I never got much out of it. So I realised, I went back to the cleaning, and I realised that's where my passion is. All businesses are hard. You're not much what it says on YouTube or podcast.
Yeah.
It's too easy.
Make your millions in 90 days. None of that.
So 2020, 21. So only like for last year I came back and I thought I changed my full business structure and just I'm starting to do commercial work now, regular work. Before then it was all like pressure washing, carpets, ovens. I've sold my carpet cleaning business. I don't want to do any more builders cleans apart from the contracts we're in, and my main focus is on regular cleaning, doctor surgeries, offices, salons, things like that. That's my focus now. And it's
And was it that change that led you to winning the award, or was it, you know, in terms of your service delivery as well? Because I saw online your reviews are always pretty stellar. You know, everyone's happy with your service. You've got a big old following on your Facebook page. You know, what were the contributing factors to being nominated and to winning?
So to win the award, there was 4 judges, and then it went down to 4 people, all over the UK, and went a public vote. But part of the reason, the feedback I got was because I do have a good social media presence. That on my business page for my cleaning company, we put 2 or 3 posts a day, showcase your work, let people see what you're doing. I was doing stuff for the community and things like that, what I said earlier, dropping off food parcels and bringing younger guys in to work with us. That one of the boys I got working for us, he lost his job. I brought him in, he worked with me for 4 months, he passed his driving test, and he was just loving his life again. And he was only 18, but couldn't get a job anywhere else. I brought him, gave him a job, passed his driving test and all that, and then left us. But that's what it is.
But you helped him along the journey, right?
So I think we won the award because obviously we showcased what we're doing. Everything that I'm doing, I put it on social media for people to see. And I'm not sure, obviously I wasn't a judge, but
you were a judge this year, right? I saw that.
I was a judge this year at the awards this year. So I don't know how stressful they must have been the year that I went. Applicants you need to go through.
How was that experience? How was that experience?
It was a good experience. It was good to see what other cleaning companies are doing out there, and inspiring stories and things like that. And I quite enjoyed it. I was a bit nervous pronouncing the awards and things like that, but it was a good experience.
That's good. And has winning the award has that like boosted the profile of your business? I'm guessing it's quite a feather in your cap to kind of use that in your marketing and that as well, right?
So when I'm sending emails out, it will say at the bottom of my email, like award-winning cleaning company UK. Same when I'm sending letters out, it will always be there. The awards that we've won, we won the best cleaner in Scotland the same year, so it's always there. But what I should have done, inspired by people that won the awards this year, the ones that won the award this year have been on the newspapers, been featured on different things. I should have reached out to the newspapers to get
more coverage, get some
coverage,
press.
more press coverage. One of the ladies that won one of the awards this year was on like 3 different newspapers and things like that. So
really, oh wow,
the newspaper. She's like, James, I just reached out to them. I thought so. Simple things like that can change your business. And for that article in the newspaper, she got a massive contract a few days later because they seen it like on the thing on Facebook from the newspaper.
Yeah, that's really good.
So I've just recently bought my business partner out the cleaning company. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to double my ad spend on Google. And this year, my full focus is on the cleaning industry. No shiny objects, anything. It's just purely my cleaning company and buying other businesses. No crypto, no forex. No.
Focus, man. Just focus. And is it on like winning more commercial clients? And if so, like what type of commercial clients are you going after?
Purely just commercial for me now. I will still do the one-off deep cleans because we've got girls there at work 9 to 5. But in deep cleans, it's quite profitable. No pressure washing, gutters, carpets, or anything like that. It's all one-off deep cleans and commercial clients in large offices, doctor surgeries, salons, things like that. That's where we're focused now. So,
look, obviously, since you have refocused, and even I guess before you got distracted by a shiny object, like clearly your business was on quite a growth trajectory, right? It was quite on a growth path. So, what do you think, in your experience, what does it take to like grow a successful cleaning business?
If you want to grow your business, I believe you need to take a step away and work on the business. A lot of people, if you're starting your cleaning company, they'll do what I've did. You'll be working 9 to 5 and doing everything yourself because you're afraid if you bring somebody on, you're losing 30 grand a year and you can't afford to do that. But your business will never grow, I believe, if you don't take that step and work on the business, not in the business. If you're spending 5 hours in the office, you get ideas are flowing and new things pop up. You can work on your systems and processes. You can't do that if you're constantly cleaning.
And when did you have that realization? Was it when you came back to cleaning, or was it before you left, when your mum was doing more of the admin stuff?
It's when I came back after I got my mum involved. My mum came, did the admin stuff about 1.5 years ago. So it's not that long ago, 2021, the end of 2021, that's when my mum came in and did the admin stuff. And that's when I've completely changed my mindset, my focus.
And how have you gone about building your team since then? Like, talk me through, the rest of your support network. What does that look like?
So I've got, say my mum works in the office, she does all the admin, the invoices and things like that. I've got a couple of supervisors. One will do the rota and stuff, and I've got another, and go out and check the cleaners and check in with clients. And now I'm training the supervisor to be like a more managerial role, who's going to go out and price the jobs for me as well. So sometimes I'll still go out and price the big commercial jobs because I feel as if I'm the best person to sell the business. So the steps I'm taking now is my supervisor will be going out, or manager now, she'll be going out pricing the jobs. Julie will be running the business. And I'm going to bring in another supervisor for the next couple of weeks. So I'm completely hands off and focusing on buying other businesses.
Thanks to you guys for listening to the Growth Lab podcast. You can access the show notes and free resources via the link in the episode description. And if you got some value from this podcast, please pay it forward and share it with others across social media, or leave a rating and review on whatever podcast platform you listen to, as it would really mean the world to me. Hope you enjoy and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode.